Today is exactly 2 months since I started my mindful eating project. And in these 2 months, I have learned a lot. Why? Because I stopped measuring my weight, I have stopped measuring my food, and I have joined the gym, and I was sick half of the month. So this month was very turbulent. But if you'd like to know more, stick around. Two months ago, I decided that my health is not very optimal. And I've decided that in 3 months, I'm going to lose 3 kilograms to prove a point. And my point was that since I can lose about 12 kilograms in 3 weeks when I'm fasting, why couldn't I lose 3 kilograms in 3 months if I was eating properly? Hi, I'm Basswood, and on this channel I talk about mostly prolonged fasting, but also health in general. And I've been talking about prolonged fasting and doing prolonged fasting for 30 years. And I know everything that can go wrong, at least everything that went wrong in my case, and I try to teach you how beneficial prolonged fasting is. However, this series, the Mindful Eating series, is about my project of eating healthily throughout the year. And this is the end of second month. And this month was really interesting because I was sick. I was sick for the first 2 to 2 weeks with fever, with a cold, with severe coughing, and I did not feel very well. And because I was sick, I also didn't eat properly, and I didn't have enough energy to weigh myself or to weigh the food, and that reflected on my weight. But in the second half of the month, I came across this podcast from the Diary of a CEO, and Stephen Bartlett was interviewing 4 women doctors who were speaking about the problems that women face when they are in menopause. And the problems that they were talking about was bone loss because of estrogen. And this really got me frightened. And it got me so frightened that in 2 days after I watched that episode, me and my husband enrolled in the gym because I decided that I'm going to do something on my muscle mass. And the problem was, now that I am lifting weights and I am doing cardio, my muscles are growing. And because my muscles are growing, my weight is also growing. So I will have to do something about my goals about this mindful eating project. However, since this is the overview of month 2, I would just like to explain what happened and what difficulties I came across. As I already told you, I was sick, and first it was fever and a cough, but the second sickness, it was in the second half of the month, and this happened very suddenly, and this was dizziness. I have never experienced such dizziness before. It was like I couldn't stand still and keep my eyes closed because I would fall. I could not walk in a straight line. Even if I was walking, I was holding myself at the furniture, and I was holding on the walls and the tables and the armoires everywhere. So I could walk straight. So it was very, very difficult to function, and especially because I was terrified, because this had to do with my head, not my body. So my head was messing with me. So for the second part of this month, I was not going to the gym, and I was staying at home and I was resting. But when I did go to the gym, I came across the owner of the gym, and he said that it would be good, if I'm going to the gym, that he also took a look at my feeding schedule and what I'm eating, what I'm drinking, and what my exercising schedule was. And he also did this test where me and my husband stepped barefoot on this scale, and we held 2 bars with our hands, and slight electrical shock went through me. I didn't feel it. Went through me, and this this then showed us the measurements of our bone mass, let's say, calculated, and our how much fat I have around my belly, around my bum, and also the visceral fat around my organs. And it was interesting to see that I am not the slimmest. I knew that I was not, but it was very eye-opening. And then he suggested, since we were now going to the gym, that we should use a lot of supplements, especially the protein. And then he sent I had to fill out the form of my habits of drinking water, and alongside with my exercising routine and my eating habits, and then alongside with the measurements that he got from the scale, and he sent every data to his nutritionist friend. And he assured me that this nutritionist friend, she was doing this for the last 30 years. So like I was fasting, I said, okay, good. And after 2 days, he got me a voicemail from her. And when I listened to this, I thought that I was going to die because everything was wrong. After I listened to that tape or that voicemail, I discovered from her words that I have a lack in vitamin D. I do not have enough protein intake, that my magnesium is deficient, that my selenium is deficient, and my B12 is deficient, iron, that I am anemic, and that I am drinking at least 1 liter of water to at least that I have to drink at least 1 more liter of water a day. And if you have been watching any of my other videos on this series, you have noticed that I drink somewhere around 1.8 or 2 liters or even 2.5 liters of water or liquids per day. And she suggested that I have to at least do 3 liters or 3.5 liters of water a day. And this was crazy in my mind. But what threw me off was that what followed. Not one word was mentioned of how I should improve my eating habits. Everything was around supplements. I should take vitamin D supplements. I should take protein supplements. I should take a look at my iron deficiency. I should have aloe supplements. It was, oh my God, supplement after a supplement after a supplement, but not one mention of how I should eat. And this really threw me off because I do not like supplements. I am a firm believer that we can get enough of the vitamins, nutrients, minerals through our food. I know that the food is not as full and rich in vitamins as it was in the days of my mother and my grandmother. However, we still have farmers markets. We still have naturally produced food, and I even produce my own vegetables in my garden. And I was really shocked that not one mention of what I should eat was in this short voicemail. So it just so happened that 2 days after I got this voicemail, I had my annual doctor's appointment, and everything was okay. And then I just talked to her about the voicemail that I got from this nutritionist, and we went bullet point after bullet point what she said. The first thing that she told me was about the vitamin D. Vitamin D is something that we are all deficient of. Why? Because nowadays we spend most of our time indoors, after behind the computer, behind the screen. And she also told me, just think, when we were little, when we did silly things, we were grounded and we could not go outside and play. But now the punishments are reversed. Now we as parents punish our kids. You don't have any screens anymore. Go outside and play. So it's reversed, and it's no wonder that we are vitamin D deficient. However, she did not know how my nutritionist got the idea of selenium, magnesium, B12. This can only be achieved through blood tests. And I did have my blood test, and she said, you are fine. Where did she get the idea that you are anemic? Your blood levels are okay. She did say that I could eat more protein, and I agreed. But other than that, it was crazy, and she didn't even listen to the whole talk that my nutritionist gave me. She just said, turn it off, I heard enough, and by the way, 2.5 liters of water or liquids per day, you are well set. And I said, but what about when I am exercising? And she said, do a test. Weigh yourself before you go exercising. Then do not drink any water during your exercises, when you're lifting weights or when you're doing cardio. And after you have finished your exercises, weigh yourself again. And if you lost, let's say, 200 grams, then you need to drink 2 times as much water. So 200 grams you lost of water, then you need to drink at least, let's say, 400 grams of water, or half a liter, let's say. And that is enough. So I was really shocked by that. And another thing that happened that I was really interested, it was interesting for me. I was never an advocate of lifting weights. I never went to a gym. I never went to any kind of, group exercises. I hated them, actually. But now going to the gym and lifting weights, it was really surprising, because if I went with my husband and with my kids in the afternoon, when I came home, I was, full of energy, of course, but I didn't have any desire to eat. So all of the late night snacking, it was not as problematic to, go without. When I was going to the gym, the day that I went to the gym, I slept soundly. I did not wake. I did not have any nightmares or any dreams, actually, and I slept throughout the night, which is a miracle. But what I also found was that 2 days ago, my youngest had a birthday, and we had our annual, date. When my kids have a birthday, I take day off from work and I surprise them. They are not going to school that day, and we have a date. And this is the day that I had my annual checkup. So he went to school for 1 hour because I had a checkup, but I also had 1 hour before the medical procedure or the medical checkup. And I went to the gym at 7 o'clock in the morning. It was crazy. I was full of energy at the doctor's office. On our date, I was like a Duracell bunny on steroids. It was incredible. I called my husband and we were talking, and he said, what did you take? I said, nothing. This is endorphins from the exercise. So I would really like to, implement the morning exercises into our daily routine. I just don't know how to do it, because I have to be at work at 7 o'clock if I am working. So I should, get up at 4 to be exercising until, 5:30. And then come home and shower. Is going to be a mess. But it is proven, it is incredible, and I love it. And I also feel better afterwards. So this is definitely something that I am keeping. What else? Oh yeah, that's just one more thing that I've discovered after I watched that episode of The Diary of a CEO. And that's when the doctors were describing that intermittent fasting is not good for women. And I was like, what? I have been intermittent fasting for years. And they actually told me, not me, but they actually discussed this. And they told us that women have a different metabolism, let's say, from men, and that we should be eating after our circadian rhythm, which means that we should be eating when we wake up. It would be optimal if we could eat, let's say, 30 minutes after we wake up. This is impossible for me, but okay. And then we should slow down with eating in the afternoon. So we still get that intermittent fasting. We just do it in the afternoon, not in the morning, because in the morning we need a lot of energy to eat. And this is associated with our circadian rhythm, as they explained it. And it is true. Now that I have been eating in the morning, let's say 8 o'clock, it's the earliest that I can eat, I have been feeling a lot better. And I can stop eating around 4 or 5 in the afternoon. So I have a lot of time to process the food and go to bed without any problems. And my stomach is actually empty, let's say, and when I go to bed at 9, and I sleep better also. So this is one of the things that I have implemented in this month, and I have been seeing some great results. So this is basically everything that I wanted to share about my process, about my progress with my mindful eating series. And I also have something to tell you that until now, I have been, checking up with you with my mindful eating series and process every week. But since the year is coming to an end, I have a new project that I need to do in the beginning of the year. I will still be sticking to the mindful eating in my future weeks and months. However, I will only be reviewing my months, not my weeks. So the reason for this is because I would like to go on my annual prolonged fasting, 3-week fasts, I think, in the middle of February. And I would like you to join me. And if I want you to join me, I need to educate you on the fast, on what to do beforehand, what to do in the middle, and how to end it. So you will not be, so you will have a very nice and very healthy experience of fasting. And this is something that I am planning to do. I will start educating you, I think that in the beginning of January, maybe even a little earlier. And my goal for next year is, for this channel and for me personally, is that I find and I help 1,000 people to go through their own 3-week prolonged fast. That means no food, no solid food, only vegetable juice after the Broy's fasting method. I will be with you all of the way. And if you would like to fast with me when I am fasting as well, that will be somewhere around the middle of February. And if we are going to do that together, you need to be prepared and I need to educate you. So all of the videos that will be following will be somehow related to getting ready for that, for your first prolonged fasting. So yeah, this is what I wanted to tell you. If you would like to see what prolonged fasting is, and if you would like to know the benefits that prolonged fasting brought for me and what the science says, I have the benefit series on my channel. I will link it in the description, and also you will be able to see it somewhere here, and you can check that out. But otherwise, I would just like to thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. I hope that you learned something in this video. And if you have, leave a comment down below. So yeah, that's all for now. Thank you very much for your patience, and I'll see you again in the next video.